everyone, welcome to Lex Talk World Talk Show presented by ClickAway Creators. Today we have Mr. Sachin Pujari with us. He's a qualified advocate on records at Honorable Supreme Court of India, New Delhi. Mr. Pujari started his career with a chamber of former advisory solicitor general in India. He is the founder and managing partner of a full-time service law firm, SSP Legal. With experience over a decade, Mr. Pujari represents various high professional clients at Supreme Court and also been a part of various reporting judgments passed by Supreme Court of India, including the constitutional bench judgment passed by the Supreme Court in Arunachal Pradesh matter and also various corporate matters. So, without further ado, let's dive in to know more about him. Hello, Mr. Pujari. Thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Arushi, for inviting me for the show.
Thank you. Thank you. So my first question to you is, like, during the pandemic, some courts begin moving towards the remote processing and availabilities. Is this situation and is it possible to way of increasing the judgment? What's your opinion in it?
Actually, the most positive thing the pandemic has given to us is only the virtual hearing. We haven't ever dreamed of going virtual hearing, expanding our pan-India presence through virtual hearing. It's a dream come true, we can say. Although various initiatives has been taken on behalf of various committees, and the Justice Chandrachud had taken various efforts in this regard. He is the chairman presently, he is the chairman of this E-committee, who is taking efforts.
Sorry. Mr. Pujari.
I'm audible? The positive thing that this pandemic has given, we can say, is only of the virtual hearing, by way of virtual hearing. We never ever dream of having a virtual hearing here in India. It's a dream come true, we can say. Various efforts have also been taken in that regard, and E-committee has been operational for this purpose. Justice Chandrachud, who is the chairman of the E-committee, he is undertaking various efforts for this purpose so that the possibility of virtual hearing can approach each and every individual all over the country, and access to justice is possible even in the remote areas. So we can say that. And apart from this, this has expanded our pan-India presence, I can say. Through by way of virtual hearing, the presence of an counsel can expand to each and every corner wherever we get engaged to the clients. I myself, talk about myself, I have, by way of virtually, I have represented the clients in Supreme Court, 2 high courts, and National Company Law Tribunal at Hyderabad. That is 4 locations I have covered in the same day. This was possible only by way of virtual hearing, we can say. And apart from this, with regard to clients, if we can say, the client used to take it on, there is only one Supreme Court in our country. So if a client is based at Chennai or Hyderabad, say Hyderabad, so whenever he wants to file any special petition at Supreme Court, he has to come over here and all those proceedings, and it take times and efforts, and it was cost effective as well. Virtual hearing, we can say. By way of this virtual hearing, only we can file it by within a various limitation period. And also apart from that, the clients can, at the place of his comfort, he can view the proceedings that are taking place on his behalf by his counsel in the Supreme Court as well, we can say. Apart from that, if we talk about our NRI clients, I have myself represented the clients from Canada and Dubai. They were, although during this lockdown, it was not possible from them to travel all over from Canada or Dubai to India, but the matter was to be filed within the time frame, and there was some urgency in that matter. But only by way of this virtual hearing, it got filed, and we have shared the link with the clients. Client can observe the proceedings, what their counsel are doing, and when we got the relief, the client was more than happy, we can say. This was a positive impact, we can say, the pandemic has given.
That's completely true, and I agree with that. And our audience also.
But apart from this, if we say that this virtual hearing criteria is, as per my opinion, I am saying, is restricted only to metros. With regard to remote areas, we are still lacking behind, because in remote areas, the condition is horrible. Very sorry to say that, but the condition is horrible due to lack of infrastructure and all. Although Chief Justice of our country, Mr. Ramanna, has taken the initiative to develop the infrastructure for judiciary and all, I hope we may overcome this issue as well in future.
Definitely.
Also, with regard to virtual hearing, we can't say that it is applicable to all the cases. Although for small matters and during certain time periods, it's very good thing. But with regard to there are batch matters or any constitutional issues are involved, constitution but bench are there to decide the matter. In those proceedings, I don't think, as per my opinion, I don't think it will help us a lot. In that issues, physical hearing matters a lot, because the way we present the case, the various documentations are there, and all the submissions are to be made. The physical presence makes much difference in that.
Much easier.
Yes.
Correct. That's perfectly true. So, with regard to this topic only, I would ask you, rating the current legal system drive towards encouraging across judgment, is there a tangible movement in closing the judgment gap?
Yes, with regard to a situation a decade before, we can say there has been a tremendous change with regard to access to justice. But there are a lot of works that are still to be made. Government and all the legal departments has been taken initiatives on their behalf to close this gap, access to justice. But it's a long way to go. Although then various legal aid services, camps, and all those issues are been undertaken by the various forums, and special committees, legal aid services has been appointed at each and every forum. But I think it will take time, as in the present scenario. I don't think it will be sooner we can hope to close this gap.
Well, very well said. So I just wanted to know, like, time is money. In
Yes.
your profession, it's really is. In legal profession, it's the most. Right. How do you ensure the best of your time in lawyers?
Basically, as per my opinion, time is money. This principle applies to each and every professional who is practicing here. Apart from that, so today what the client wants due to this online system and everything, what the client wanted, the time-oriented result. First of all, every matter which comes to us, the first question the clients ask is whether it will be done within the time frame, or what time will you suggest this will get completed, the whole matter. So this is the first. So in that regard, I submit that our first intention in that is the time-oriented, time-bound matter should be there. In regard to services provided by us for filing and getting the matter listed and all, if any particular assurance is there is given to the client, we should abide by that assurance. We should not linger on the process that the matter get to be filed, or like the traditional practice we have observed in past. What I mean. And apart from that, due to this virtual mode, the physical man-to-man meetings had been come to an end, I hope, with regard to corporate clients who are outside Delhi, since we are based at Delhi basically. So, so we can do a virtual meeting with the clients. It's a particular time frame is there particularly, and it helps a lot to save our time, and we can focus. Apart from that, we can focus on our work to give the quality services to our clients. And it has helped us, as my personal experience, it has helped us a lot with regard to NRI clients as well. That has increased our approach to the various countries as well as on date, I can say.
That's right. Time is really essential for everyone in every profession. That's really true. So I just wanted to know.
It is also an essential factor, I think, I see.
Yes, definitely. Okay. So my next question is, like, where do you see in this next 12 months the practices, where will it grow? Let me put it very basic. Which practices do you see growing in next 12 years?
In the present scenario, first, in the present scenario, what I can say is the best practice, as per my opinion, the next for the next 12 months that would be booming is the international arbitration. Because even the Supreme Court is enforcing passing various judgments recently for enforcement of the foreign awards, and there is a combined effort on behalf of all the judiciary and everyone to boost our presence as an international arbitration hub all over the country,
Okay.
as all over the world, I would say. And various international arbitration centers has been set up for that. So I hope international arbitration would be the most booming sector in the next coming 12 months. Apart from that, due to the impact of this pandemic, the business of various corporate entity has been struck down. So with regard to that, I could say the insolvency proceedings is one of the best practice in the coming next 12 months, I could say, as per my experience I am getting present. Yes.
So what are the drivers behind it? Like what drove it towards it?
Basically, it's time-bound matters, and even you go for insolvency proceedings or for arbitrations issues. So basically, the time-bound, the result-oriented, no wastage of time as compared with the traditional litigation approach, we can say. So last week also, there is a dispute between the Lalit Modi and his mother. The matter is pending before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, first of all, take initiative to get the matter settled amicably through mediation center, so that this time-consuming process of getting the litigation, all the documentations, that can be saved, and a fruitful result can be, we can get a fruitful result by way of this. The matter is referred to as arbitration center.
Correct, definitely. So my last question to you is the technological changes, the way you interact with your clients and services that you provide, is it helpful? Is this technology worth it?
Yes, as per my opinion, it has helped us a lot, certainly, I can say. Because with regard to corporate clients, if you focus upon the corporate clients, we don't have to do the one-to-one face-to-face meeting for that purpose. The virtual hearing is there. We can provide the solutions to them virtually instead of taking the appointments. They take our appointments, we take our schedule like that. So it has helped us a lot. With regard to multinational companies situated abroad, I can say there is nothing in that meeting the directors and legal departments of that company, but physically or something else. We can do a virtual meeting, we can get the contract done on their behalf, we can guide them, we can advise them to take the further initiatives which could be fruitful for their business, and we can guide them just policies as we do we make startup policies, we guide the startups for the legal compliances that could be done on their behalf in India as per the governing laws in India. So it has helped us a lot. The technology has developed, it has helped us a lot.
That was all from my end, and thank you so much for sharing such a great insights with us. And
Thanks
we'll be
a lot,
looking
Anji.
forward to have a chat with you again with some
Sure.
future trendy topics in this legal world.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, for our viewers, if you like our chat with Mr. Pujari, please like, share this video and subscribe our YouTube channel, Clickaway Creators. We'll appreciate that, and we'll be coming up with more industrial leaders and that. So this is Ayushi from Let's Talk World.